by fans of high-quality entertainment. So this tier list features 50 classic rock, mainly classic rock bands and solo artists, just random artists that I've chosen, leaving out many, great artists and not so great artists. And I thought I would just rank them in a tier list from S, which of course is like 10 out of 10, and A, B, C, and D. There is no E. Even my least favorite band on this list deserves at least a D because, they do have some talent. They're just not my kind of band or artist. There you can see them all. Here we go. Let's start with Motorhead. I've always loved Motorhead. I know, kind of like AC/DC, they have the same kind of sound for most of their albums, but it's a great sound. I love the heaviness. I love Lemmy. May he rest in peace. I'm going to put, but overall, I'm thinking of all of the albums I've heard. They're great, but Motorhead isn't one of my favorites, so I will put them in the B category out of respect. But I could see, some fans putting them in A or even S. The Foo Fighters. I respect the Foo Fighters. I like Dave Grohl. I think he's a very nice person from what I've seen. Just not my kind of music, a bit too commercial, and I do like some of their songs, but I'm going to put them in C, just for me. Nickelback. Let's put Nickelback in D. That was very quick. That's what she said. All right, Pretenders. I love their debut album, and then after that, I kind of lost interest in them, even though, I like some of their later songs. So I'm going to also put them in... I'm going to put them in B, but behind Motorhead. AC/DC, like I said, similar to Ramones and Motorhead, kind of the same sound for their albums. And I do like the earlier albums by AC/DC, not so much the later ones. But overall, I mean, they did put out some average albums, but they are a great live act. So I'm putting, it's not just for the albums, but for the live performances. I'm going to put them ahead of Pretenders. Patti Smith Group. Patti Smith or, Patti Smith Group. I always like them. I'm going to put them in B ahead of Pretenders. This is a very underrated 60s band, the Buckinghams, and I believe Pop Goes the 60s. He's going to be doing an episode or two on them in the coming weeks, or maybe next. Very underrated, like I said. But I'll put them in B. Actually, yeah, right there. That's good. Pink Floyd. I know a lot of people would put them in S tier, but I don't love everything they've done, like the final cut and but I'll put them in A for sure. Radiohead. I love early Radiohead with, the more guitar-based albums. Not as interested in their later stuff, but I know they've got lots of fans. They're great still. So I will put them in B. Just before Motorhead. It's just, between the two bands, I'd rather listen to Motorhead. Jethro Tull. Once again, I love early Jethro Tull. There's going to be probably quite a few bands in the B section, so they're going to go in B. Right there. Moody Blues are A, and I don't know. I think I love early, like those first, well, after their debut, that the next 7 albums are just so good. I'm going to put them ahead of Pink Floyd, just for me personally. Remember, this is just a personal list. Sparks, I know you're going to think, oh, he's putting them in S. I'm not. I'm going to put them at the start of A. Overall, they're, one of my favorite bands for sure. U2, I love U2 up to, Octong Baby is my favorite U2 album, and then I gave up on them about 12 years ago. They still have to go into B because still lots of great songs. I'll put them at the start of B. Aerosmith, once again, I love the early Aerosmith, but other than that, I'm going to put them behind Foo Fighters. Nazareth, a very underrated band. I'll put them in B. Just ahead of the Patti Smith group. Led Zeppelin. I know. Some people would put them in S tier. I'm going to put them in A. Right before Sparks. Yes. Now, see, once again, I'm thinking overall in their career. I don't follow them anymore without John Anderson as the lead singer. And they did put out some weak albums. But overall, they're still A. And I'm going to put them ahead of the Moody Blues. They could even be ahead of Led Zeppelin. No. David Bowie. Overall, he's A tier. Boy, this gets difficult. Yeah, I'm happy with them there. Grand Funk Railroad, I will put them in. I know some people might think I'll put them in A, but their later albums, they went a bit too poppy, even though there's some good stuff on it. I'll put them, I like them more than U2 these days, so I'll put them at the start of B. This is Pearl Jam. I don't mind Pearl Jam, but I like Verses and Vitology and No Code. That's about it. I'm going to put them in C, but at the start of C. Talking Heads. My favorite album of theirs is Fear of Music. I'm going to put them in B. Let's see here. Ahead of Motorhead. Yeah, right there. Black Oak, Arkansas. Please don't laugh. Yeah, I was a fan of them for a couple of years. High on the Hog was my favorite. I'll put them in C at the start of C. Lou Reed. He's A here. Lou Reed, between Lou Reed and David Bowie. I'm putting him ahead of David Bowie. I'm gonna put him ahead of Led Zeppelin because he just has so many more albums than Led Zeppelin that I love. The Rascals, great band. I'll put them in B, ahead of Jethro Tull and AC/DC and Radiohead. Right about there. The Kinks. So this is overall. I mean, I love early Kinks, but then I kind of lost interest in them in the later 70s. But I mean, they're still, overall, they're still A. So let's put them right there, just before Pink Floyd. The Monkees. Love the Monkees, but they're going to be in B overall. Yeah, I like them more than Motorhead and even Talking Heads and even U2. Right there. Devo. I mainly love their first three albums. So I'm going to put them in C, but, you know, their first three albums are like A. Electric Light Orchestra with the great Jeff Lynne. It's got to be at least B. Head of AC/DC and Radiohead, the Rascals and Motorhead, right there, just before Talking Heads. Blue Oyster Cult is in, I'm putting them in A. Whereabouts, though? I like them more than Pink Floyd. Right there, just before the Moody Blues. Frank Zappa. I love, you know, maybe 80% of what he's put out. So he's going to be high up in A. Just ahead of uh, the Moody Blues, yeah, and before David Bowie. Motley Crue goes in D, at the start of D. They suck. Thank you. The Who are A for sure. Uh, just before Frank Zappa. XTC. Now I think, you know, overall, I love the early years of XTC. I mean, I'm going to put them in B. Ahead of Jethro Tull and AC/DC and Radiohead and the Rascals and Motorhead. Just before ELO. Now, which band is this here? That's the Grateful Dead. I'll put them in C. They're just not my kind of band, but they're certainly not D material. And I'll put them ahead of Aerosmith and Foo Fighters. Yeah, I like Pearl Jam, some Pearl Jam songs. NCC. They, you know, later on they put out some weak albums, but they're early, you know, with the original four members are awesome. But I'll put them in B. Head of Jethro Tull, Radiohead, just before the Rascals. Paul McCartney. I know you think I would put him in S tier, but that would be like perfect. So I'm not. Um, yeah, I got to put him at the start of A. Sorry, Sparks. Ramones. Once again, it was their first three albums, first 3 or 4 albums I love, and then after that, kind of not really a fan. So I'll put them just before, yeah, I'll put them behind Diva. Ween. Now, the thing with Ween is I'll put them in B for now because I've only heard, 3 of their albums, which I love. I need to listen to more of them. I'll put them before Yellow. Queen, very talented band. Once again, some of their later albums are not the greatest. I'm going to put them in B. I'll put them at the start of B. The Cure. I love some of their music, and some of their music kind of bores me. But I do like them. I'll put them in B. Just ahead of NCC. Can. I'm only missing 2 of their studio albums. I love Can. They are going in A. I'm sorry, I'm putting them ahead of Led Zeppelin. That's right. That's how much of a fan I am of Can. Creedence Clearwater Revival, they're in A. I like them more than Pink Floyd. Right there. Sly and the Family Stone. The thing is, I just love, all of their greatest hits. I'm not as familiar with their albums, but still one of the greats. But just for me personally, I'll put them in B. I like them more than The Cure. Right there, just before the Rascals. The Sex Pistols. They really only put out 1 studio album, which I love. But because of that, I'll put them at the very start of C. That's not fair. No, I like them more than Pretenders and even Radiohead. Put them just before 10cc. The Guess Who. Very underrated band. I will put them in B. Ahead of U2. The Smiths. I love some Smiths songs, and then other ones kind of bore me. I'm going to put them just before Nazareth. Yeah. 4 bands to go. Guns N' Roses. D. Just for me. They would be they would be the worst. The Beach Boys. I love the Beach Boys. They're going in A. Even though I still need to listen to more of their albums. I'm going to put them, for now, ahead of Creedence Clearwater Revival, just before Blue Oyster Cult. Metallica, I'm going to put them in C. I don't dislike them and I don't love them, but I'm going to put them in C. Before Aerosmith, because like I said, I love early Aerosmith, like Toys in the Attic. The Beatles. S tier, that's right. The only band that goes in the S tier for me. The only band or artist that I feel has the perfect career. And that is it. I would love your thoughts on my 50 random artist tier list. Which ones do you agree with or disagree with? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.